what I've done is dug a hole in the Keyhole garden right there. I've set one of these, which separates apples. Any grocery store will have them. They're decomposable, so they'll decompose with the Keyhole garden as my squash is growing. I'm using 2 black beauty squash and 1 white zucchini. That's what I'm planting right now. I've got more in the back of the greenhouse, but they have not finished yet. And then I'm just going to fill this pot with cow manure, plant my squash, and as it goes along, all that compost will decompose together, and it should make a nice, rich nutrient bed for my squash. So this baby has been put into her little compost and manure bed. I did cover it with mulch just to keep the moisture in. Make sure when you do that with this Keyhole garden, you're not putting the actual leaf part that you've pulled away, but it's actually dry top mulch. The reason you do that is because you can get leaf cutters and all kinds of weird stuff in leaves. So if you're covering it with leaves, you're just inviting that. So use mulch, actual mulch, chippy grains, not leafy. All right, that's it. I'm gonna plant a few more and then I'll take an in photo. Something I didn't think about, watch for ants. If you've got ants in your bed, just move over. Just wanted to show you the reason why soil blocks are really a cool deal as opposed to using these pots. See how that is wrapping around there? When you use soil blocks, they just push all the way through, and it makes sure you don't have this wrapping that's happening here on these roots. It creates an aerated plant already. I don't have a 4-inch soil block maker. I only have a 2-inch, so I did not use soil blocks to create these. I am going to purchase a 4-inch soil block maker, which is going to allow me to utilize that instead of these plastic containers in the future. Although these plastic containers are reusable, with a soil blocker, you don't need to use any plastic at all. It's all self-contained in the little block that you make. So just kind of a cool thing to think about when you're creating your seedlings. These things are fine, especially if you're new, but if you can create soil blocks, do it. Look at that good composting happening in this. So you can see this right here is what you want. See that right there? That's all that leaf mold. That's exactly what you want. So when I'm pulling this back, you want to make sure you're pulling it back far enough to where you're actually getting to the leaves and the leaf mold, because that's going to help that container decompose. And that's how far down you're digging this back until you get into the, you'll feel it. It feels kind of cold to the touch. And you'll see that leaf mold. That's a good sign that you are there where you need to be to plant these, and that's going to help compost that tray. So you want to get down that far. Don't put the leaves on top of it, but make sure you get down far enough with that compostable bucket where your leaves down there with the mold are touching it. So we bought this pumpkin at Halloween, and Aaron never did anything with it, and it sat on our patio for many months, and I noticed it was pulling apart, and I thought, I wonder what would happen if I put it in the Keyhole garden and just did nothing to it and just let it sit there. Would it just completely decompose, or would these little seeds on the inside, I don't know if you can see that, little seeds on the inside there, would they start doing their own thing and growing? I'm not seeing anything yet. Maybe I'm just creating a house for pests and bugs, but it's in the Keyhole garden. It's not hurting anything. It's a fun little experiment. Last thing to do is give it a good watering. We'll leave that on for a good little while. It'll help decompose everything in this Keyhole garden too. You can see we've had no problems filling up that compost bin there. That's where the all of the leafy greens and all the nitrogen-rich stuff goes, and that should feed into all of the carbon that we have down below. We did a mixture of carbon to nitrogen product, 30-to-1, and that should help it decompose a little faster. It's already down one of these squares. It used to be up to the second square, now we're down to one. So it's decomposing decomposing pretty fast. We should have some really rich compost here in a few months from what we've done here. And then next year we'll probably just do it all over again. Refill it when the oak leaves fall and have fun with it and do it all over again. But you can see my babies are now planted. See, we got the black beauties and we've got our white zucchini over there. All right, that's it.